Hey, what's up, guys? Mr. Smart Money Picks here, back at it again to give you guys another day of the NBA. This February 6th. We got about 7 games on the NBA slate tonight, guys. I'm going to go through each one of them. Quick recap, we did hit on the money pick of the day. The money pick of the day was Dallas -3, and that goes to people who are signed up for the Patreon. If you haven't signed up for the Patreon, guys, go to the Patreon. It's Smart Money Picks 1. They got different tiers there. Let's cash it in together, guys. All I'm here trying to do is help you guys win some money. We did only go 3 for 6 yesterday in all games, which I usually don't do that. I usually go probably 65 and over percentage wise. But today's a new day, new blessings, guys. Let's jump straight into it. First game we got Houston versus Indiana. Indiana -7.5 at home, guys. They're 28-24 on the season. 28, 20, and 3 against the spread, 16 and 10 at home, guys. Where Houston are just 23 and 26 on the season, 26, 21, and 1 against the spread, and 5 and 17 away, guys. Head-to-head matchup does belong to Indiana. They're 8 and 2 in their last 10 meetings, but just 4 and 6 against the spread. Houston in their last 10 are just 4 and 6 and 5 and 5 against the spread, guys. Where Indiana, they're 4 and 6, 4 and 2 against the spread. These two teams did meet back on December 26th, and Indiana dictated that game. Houston didn't play really competitive. They actually lost the game in the fourth quarter. So I'm gonna go with the revenge here. I'm gonna take Houston +7.5, guys. But I think Indiana wins the game. There's no Fred VanVleet. But I think they keep it close, especially Houston coming off that embarrassing loss in Minnesota. And Indiana is known to giving up points. So I'm going to take Houston +7.5 here, guys. Indiana to possibly win that game. Next game, we got Dallas versus Brooklyn. Dallas -2.5. It is now -3.5, guys. They're 27 and 23 on the season, 25 and 25 against the spread, 13 and 10 away. Brooklyn, they're just 20 and 29 on the season, guys. 23, 24, and 2 against the spread, and 12 and 14 at home. Head-to-head matchup does belong to Dallas, guys. They're just 8 and 2 in their last 10, and 5 and 5 against the spread. Dallas in their last 10 games are 4 and 6 straight up, 3 and 7 against the spread. Where Brooklyn is 4 and 6 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games, guys. Both teams did play last night, so I'm not really worried about the back-to-back records. But my numbers do indicate that Dallas should win this game comfortably. So I'm going to say take Dallas here, guys, -2.5. Like I said, it is at 3.5 right now. If you can get it there, take it. It might go up depending on who's in and who's out. So take Dallas again here, guys. And again, Kyrie Irving is going back to Brooklyn. I don't see them losing this game. Take Dallas. Next game, we got Orlando versus Miami, guys. Miami -3.5 at home. They're 26 and 24 on the season, 21, 28 and 1 against the spread, and 13 and 12 at home. Where Orlando, they're 27 and 23 on the season, guys, 33 and 17 against the spread, 12 and 16 away from home. Head-to-head matchup does belong to Miami. They're 7 and 3 in the last 10, but just 5 and 5 against the spread. Orlando in their last 10, they're just 5 and 5 and 7 and 3 against the spread. Where Miami, they're 2 and 8 straight up and against the spread, guys. Miami is playing another home game. They did lose to the Clippers by 8. Orlando, they're coming off a win, and this is their 5th game on the road. I'm going to look for the revenge factor here, guys. They did play the 21st of January, and Orlando did end up winning the game. I'm looking for Miami to avenge that loss, guys. Take Miami at home -2.5, guys. Next game, we got Memphis versus the Knicks. The Knicks -14.5 at home. They're 32 and 18. Straight up on the season, 29, 19, and 2 against the spread, and 18 and 6 at home, guys. Memphis are 18 and 32 on the season, 23 and 27 against the spread, and 13 and 14 away from home. Head-to-head matchup does belong to Memphis. They're 6-4 straight up and against the spread. But Memphis in their last 10, they're 3-7 and 6-4, losing their last 5 games, guys. New York, they're 9-1 and 8-2 and playing good ball. They did end up losing to the Lakers at home the other day, which snapped. I think there was a 7 or 8 game win streak. I'm looking for New York to start a new win streak here as Memphis is plagued with injuries. I always like Memphis to on the cover because they do play pretty gritty and there's some dogs on that team. But they got another dog in himself in Jalen Brunson, guys. And I'm going to go with New York minus 14.5. That won't be my money pick because it's a lot of points, but I think New York does get it done with all the injuries on the other side in Memphis. Take New York minus 14.5 here, guys. Next game, we got Minnesota versus Chicago. Minnesota opened at minus 4.5. Now it's currently sitting at minus 5.5, guys. Minnesota, they're 35-15 on the season, 26-24 against the spread, 16-10 away from home. Chicago, they're just 23-27 on the season, 25-24-1 against the spread, guys, and 14-12 at home. Head-to-head matchup is even. Against the spread matchup is even at 5 as well. Minnesota, however, in their last 10, they're 6-4 straight up and just 5-5 against the spread. Chicago, they're 5-5 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games. I'm going to give the nod here to Minnesota, guys. My numbers indicate that Minnesota should win by double digits or 5 or more points. So I'm going to take Minnesota here. No Zach LaVine. Minnesota is pretty healthy right now at the moment, and they're playing decent basketball, better than Chicago. Take Minnesota minus 5.5. Next game, we got OKC versus Utah. OKC minus 3 on the road. They're 35-15 on the season, 31-19 against the spread, 15-9 away from home. Utah, they're 25-26 on the season, 30-21 against the spread, and 16-7 at home, guys. Head-to-head matchup is even at 5-5. OKC in those 10 matchups are 7-2-1 against the spread, winning their last 5 games straight up. OKC in their last 10, they're playing good ball. They're 8-2 and just 5-5 against the spread, where Utah is 4-6 and 5-5 against the spread. They also have played the other day as well in Utah, where OKC did take that game by 5. I'm going to say Utah